hey, what's going on to, hold on, what's going on to, my ring light broke. Here we go. I'll get a new one. That's why it is that y'all gotta subscribe so I can get a new ring light. Anyway, so to all of my Aquarians, please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, you can do so, right? Kareemspiritworks at yahoo.com. I actually have a plethora of things now too. You can contact me for readings from 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. You can have services which will help you start figuring out your own birth chart, right? So you can start learning how to read your own birth chart. I have birth chart readings as well. I'm getting better with it, so I decided to raise the price just a little bit, but I am getting better with it. Yeah, you know what I mean. As well as I decided to specify it, right? And all this stuff is same day, but I decided to specify it because a lot of people who come through and get readings from me, they would ask, well, what is it that, you know what I mean? What kind of reading can I get? And I would essentially tell them, right, birth chart reading or tarot reading. You can ask pretty much whatever you want: finance, love. You know, I don't necessarily like to overcharge in that sense, but at the same time, you know, I'm just letting y'all know this is what it is, that you can ask finances, love. A lot of people come to me, they usually want to find out about love. Not a problem with that. And I usually tell them really what it is. The reality of love is you just have to learn to let the ego go and learn to be more self-sacrificing. And learning the differences between having boundaries, right? And learning how to be selfish and learning how to be selfless in times when it needs you to be selfless, right? Also, and checking to see if your partner is the same way, right? But in the personal readings, I essentially break down some of the ways on you can figure that out, and we go deeper into that. But if you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, like I said, hit my email address. If you have my number already, because we already have done a reading together, then you can always call my cell phone number, right? Send me a text, right? So let's get into the reading. Oh yeah, by the way too, another thing, because I have a plethora of services. If you would like for me to start reviewing your products, you can always go ahead, send me an email. We'll talk it out. We'll work out some sort of business transaction, right? How you can pay me. And what I'll do is that I'll send you my address, right? P.O. box or something like that. One of those. And then I'll review all my channel here, tell you what I really think. So let's get into it for the Aquarians. I know that was a long infomercial. Just stick with me here because, you know, I got a lot going on. All right, got a lot going on. I have so many things to offer: books, tarot readings, birth chart readings, reviewing people's products. So cards that I come up here for the Aquarians is the Six of Coins, Nine of Coins, the Judgment, the Strength, the High Priestess, wow, the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. Oh, I am using the Game of Thrones Tarot, by the way. So if any of these characters seem familiar, like Brienne, or like the red, what was her name? I forgot her name. Anyway, then it's because I'm using the Game of Thrones Tarot, right? So you have the Four of Coins, right? We left off at the Four of Coins, Three of Spears, Two of Wands, the Page of Spears, okay, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords, the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, the Moon. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for, okay, wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 15 cards are Major Arcana. Okay. So the Six of Coins, Nine of Cups, the Judgment. What I'm seeing for you, Aquarians, is what I'm seeing for you, Aquarians, is that I'm seeing how a lot of you Aquarians, when it comes to love, Strength card, very interesting, because I'm seeing how you, right, and this person that represents the Strength card, these cards, the Six of Coins, the Nine of Cups, represents you, right? The Judgment represents you. You and this person are off to a very interesting start. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you're here, right? You have your arms open. You're keeping an open mind when it comes to the people whom you're dating. But you're right, and then not to mention it's also the Judgment, which means that it also means that you're being very observant. It's a lot to talk about. And the thing is that the Nine of Cups is you with your arms crossed. Yes, you are being open-minded, but you're also keeping an open mind to be judgmental, to judge when someone is telling you the truth, when from someone is capping. Now, the Nine of Cups represents the skepticism that you have when it comes to interacting or dating anybody right now. And that's something that's well deserved. That's something that you should most definitely have. That's something that you should keep. It's a very good idea that you should. Just don't become too extreme with it to the point where you start treating the people around you whom you're dating and like crap. You don't want to do that, because then you'll end up doing your own self in. You don't really want to do that. But the Strength card represents this person, and the Strength represents how it seems to me as if they are able to see this is what it is that you're doing. And it seems to me as if they are still somewhat interested. Now, to continue forward, because I don't know what I'm going to read when I pull these cards. I don't know what I'm going to read. So I'm going on this journey just like you are. This is a movie for me too. So the High Priestess and the Four of Cups, right, represents the High Priestess, and the Four of Cups represents how, so you're paying attention to them to see if there's any kind of red flags. The Four of Cups, okay, Four of Pentacles. This person seems to not necessarily really be, this person is kind of letting you know that you may have a little bit too many walls up. Your guard may be up a little bit too high for them. And then the things that the Three of Wands, right? The Three of Wands represents, the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands represents your explanation of it, of why your guard may be up high. You know, because a lot of the times Aquarius has this reputation of being cold and detached, when in actuality, that's kind of a catch-22. It really depends on which Aquarius you're interacting with, because there's two types of Aquarians. There's the ones that's unevolved and evolved. The ones that's unevolved are scared of commitment and getting to know someone, most definitely. And the Aquarians, the ones that are evolved, can be with someone for a long period of time. But either way it goes, whether it's unevolved or evolved, it usually takes that person, the Aquarius, a little while to warm up to someone whom they're interacting with, right? Usually, right? But when an Aquarius loves you, though, it's delicious. It's amazing. You know, like I said before, like, you know, in a different world, if I would have been with anybody, it would more than likely be with Aquarius, Scorpio, something like that. You know what I mean? Aquarius, Scorpio, something like that, because, you know, like I said, I like that kind of intense energy. You know what I mean? Aries, I like that kind of intense energy. I like that type of stuff, you know, where it's a person who is they know who they are. You know what I mean? And Aquarius definitely comes off as them knowing who they are when they know who they are, and that's one of the things that's very attractive. I don't personally, I don't like it when the people who I'm interacting with are overbearing, super, bossy and stuff like this, because I know I know what it is that I should do. So I don't necessarily need a parent, but knows who they are. And the Page of Spears now represents that kind of puts the relationship, unfortunately, between you and them at a standstill, because the Four of Swords represents how this person is kind of like just, basically the relationship is over, right? Unfortunately, because they see you as someone that's a little bit too stuck up for them. And the reason why you Aquarians are being judgmental, you're paying attention to what's going on around you, is for obvious reasons, right? It's because so you don't end up getting screwed over in the end, because you don't want to make the same mistakes that you were making, which is good. It means that you're able to evolve, and it means that you're learning, right? Like you have to be crazy in order for you to continue to make the same mistakes and never adjust, for real. And the thing is that the Four of Swords represents you. The Four of Swords and the Fool represents you. The Four of Swords is about how you Aquarians now are like, you know now more than ever, right? Excuse me, not the Four of Swords, Eight of Swords. You know now more than ever that, look at Brienne, because this also too is Brienne, right? And Brienne is one of the best fighters in the Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? She's a heavy hitter. And see the Eight of Swords, right? The Eight of Swords represents how you know now more than ever that this was the right path for you to take, because it's this mentality, this whole new level of understanding that comes with the Eight of Swords. Once you realize it, probably gonna realize it now that I'm saying it, but it's the understanding. It's the understanding of you're right for doing what it is that you're doing. You're right. That's my dog. You're right for doing what it is that you're doing, because if people are so crazy that they want you to just trust them, 100%, that's delusional. And not especially with all the games that people play. And the Fool represents you meeting someone new, right? While this person is figuring it out, whatever, you're meeting someone new, or willing to meet someone new at least. The Two of Coins and the Moon represents how, the two of you could have been a very good relationship. But the problem is that, got too many delusional people out here, for their own good. You have too many people out here that's delusional for their own good. You got an individual who, you have someone who is taking a very unrealistic approach, and you Aquarians are taking a very realistic approach. You got to understand that the Aquarius, the Aquarius doesn't see themselves as being from Earth sometimes. The Aquarius sees themselves as being from not necessarily outer space, but being from the ancient world, in the sense of like they remember that level of antiquity, of ancient times and stuff like this. So it's like for them, they're dealing with things from that ancient perspective, right? Let's clarify the moon. Ma? Oh, let's clarify the moon. So you have how this card got upside down. The Four of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Five of Swords. So 4, 4, 5, right? Okay, so what I'm seeing here for the moon, right, to clarify that for y'all, is the Four of Cups. We already have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is this person is very hesitant to take it, even though you're trying, even though you're actually putting in an effort to be with this person. This person is being very difficult in order to interact with. The Four of Wands represents this being stalemate, right? It represents how the two of you have an even amount of wands. Two of you have two wands, which makes four. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 times 4, excuse me, 2 times 2 is 4. So this relationship is at a standstill. And the Five of Swords represents how, you know, it's time for you to move on, you know, because regardless of whether or not this person is going to spend their time thinking about it, this thing is over with. And not because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because the way that the relationship is beginning is too difficult in on itself. See, relationships are supposed to be not necessarily 100% smooth all the time. Most definitely, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that there has to be a level of underlining smoothness. There has to be a level of underlining smoothness to it. If there's no level of smoothness to it, and what do I mean when I say smoothness? I mean a level of the two of you actually getting along and symmetry. Like when I'm dating like when I used to date some of the people who I used to kick it with, my birthday is on August 27th. Their birthday is December 27th. So literally 4 months after my birthday is that person's birthday. So it's like it's that level of, it's that underlining level of the two of y'all are a lot alike. The two of y'all have a lot in common. The two of y'all have a lot of passions, right? The two of y'all are essentially one half of the other person, right? Not one half. The two of y'all are essentially complete, or can be complete, but it just adds on to what you already have to make you even more complete. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm already a complete being, but having a person there would just add on to the already completeness. So it would be like it would be two complete individuals, right? Instead of just one, is what I'm saying. So let's clarify the High Priestess. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So to clarify the High Priestess, we have the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Knight of Swords is about the kind of difficulties, right, that you were dealing with when it comes to interacting with this person and how things didn't necessarily go the way that you wanted to. When you knew that, right? You knew that you liked them, but they were expecting you to trust them a little bit too quickly, too much. And the Ace of Pentacles, not too quickly, but too much. The Ace of Pentacles is about how you need to see something, you know? Time, time shows you this type of stuff. Time shows you that. Time. You're not just going to go ahead and run off and trust the person 100%, with your life. It takes time for that type of stuff. And then the things that you have, the Knight of Pentacles, right? The Knight of Pentacles represents, this is what it is that you're looking for, because these are two Pentacle cards. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for time. You're looking for concrete evidence. You're looking for someone to be in your corner. And a lot of you Aquarians haven't necessarily really found that. I myself too have been in that situation where, a lot of the times you try to engage with people, try to find out who they really are on the inside, and they want you to trust them just a little bit too quickly or whatnot, and I've always stayed away from those people myself. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.